is going to head up her team, and we're going to learn more about healthier choices with the Nuval system. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Lori. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. We're glad you all are here today. I'm Lori Hamilton. I'm the registered nurse for Food City. And this is part of our health and wellness. Well, it really is the whole health and wellness team and everything. We're going to let each of them tell you a little bit about themselves. And as I've told some of those that were in here earlier, this is probably going to be more like a stand-up comedy act than a cooking program. We actually have done all these recipes previously, and they did turn out. So we hope that that happens here as well.
And if not, you've got the recipe to take home and do it at home.
That's right.
So.
And the basis of this is Nuval, and Nuval is a nutritional value scoring system that we utilize here in Food City. And the scores range from 1 to 100. The higher the score, the more nutritious that product is, but certainly we advocate a variety of foods in moderation. So if you have a hankering for potato chips and you're in the salty food aisle, then look and see maybe what you normally get in terms of the chips. And if you can trade up a little bit for a higher score, that helps you in terms of nutrition-wise. So we all know the fruits and vegetables and things like that have the high Nuval scores, but we do want a variety in moderation. So, Jessica Gorley.
She just stole my introduction. My name is Jessica Gorley. I am a registered dietitian here for Food City. I am also a certified diabetes educator, and I am also certified in childhood, adolescent, and adult weight management. And this is my student. I will let you introduce yourself.
I'm Christine Steffen, and I'm a student at Carson Newman, a dietetics major, and I'm interning with Jessica this summer.
Interning means slave labor.
And she's from the Kingsport area.
Yes, I grew up here.
And my name is Terry Ahrens. I'm the corporate home economist and now on the health and wellness team with Lori and Jessica. And we're going to cook 3 recipes for you today. We're going to try to cook 3 recipes for you today. You know, Lori said if you're in the salty snack aisle and you're craving potato chips, and maybe you can find something that's a little higher score than what you normally would use. What we tried to do in these recipes tonight too, they're all inherently healthy recipes, but we tried to pick ingredients that maybe had a little bit higher score. So talk about the Nuval scores. You can get the orange juice and the apple juice out of the fridge so they can see which ones they have.
So it's 1 to 100, like Lori said, and the perfect 100 is actually the blueberries. Blueberries score a perfect 100, which is beautiful because that's the best thing in the grocery store is going to be in your fruit and vegetable aisle.
And there's other hundreds in the store, you know, but
Like in the ice cream aisle, there is a 100 Blue Bunny fudgesicle, but I don't really recommend eating that over your blueberries just because of the fact that it doesn't have as many antioxidants and things. But if you are eating ice cream, you can trade up from like a 20 to a 100 in the ice cream aisle.
and what makes that 100? Why
It
is
is
that?
skim milk. Skim milk scores a 91, and they've added fiber to it, so it's actually brought the score up to a 100.
Is there like any omega-3s in it or anything like that? Okay.
It's just the skim milk.
So
and the
they've
fiber.
doctored it up a little bit.
Right.
And
So,
that's-
no, I'm not going to tell you to eat that over a blueberry because that just doesn't make any sense. But if you are in the ice cream aisle, you can trade up. Now, when we talk about juices, I'm a little iffy on juices just because of the fact that let's compare scores versus the orange itself, and an orange scores a perfect 100. This juice right here, it does have calcium and things added to it. It only scores a 47. So
now what is the other orange juice?
the other orange juice, the regular brands actually score 30, so since this does have added calcium and vitamin D to it, it did bring the score up a bit, but still, it's not a 100.
Well, but see, the thing is, and that's true, if you're, you know, orange, the fruit itself is going to be a better score, but if the recipe calls for orange juice, this
Then you
would be
can trade up to a higher
this would
number
be
in
a
the
better
orange juice
score.
as well.
Okay.
Same thing with the apple juice. The apple score a 96. The apple juice that this is actually a 16 because it also has the calcium fortification in it and vitamin C that's been fortified in it. So it does bring the score up. And some of the other ones score anywhere from a 10 to a 12, and there's even one that scores a 4 in the apple juice aisle.
Do you know that Simply Natural, they made such a big deal out of that Simply Natural's in the dairy case, the orange juice, and they've got an apple juice now. That apple juice is only a 4.
you can actually do it. And the way I tell diabetics to do it is, the blueberries are going to be good for you anyway. And you're not going to eat a whole lot of this amount. You're only going to want to eat about a half a cup, if that. And in that half a cup, it's going to be about 20 to 30 grams of carbohydrate, I would just say off the top of my head. But if you eat the apple itself, that's 15 grams of carbohydrate. 4 ounces of juice is 15 grams as well. So, you're better off eating the fruit once again. And you can substitute. They do have light apple juice now that actually has a whole lot less carbohydrate content, and they have light orange juice now, and you can also substitute juices in this recipe. It's your recipe. You can substitute other juices for it that are lighter and do it that way as well. But you can work it into your meal plan.
And then the yogurt that we're going to use, there was 2 different kinds of non-fat plain yogurt in the dairy case, our brand and the Dannon brand. And now they both had the exact same scores. Did I have the price on there? Mm-hmm. Okay. And national brand products are scored just the same as our private label Food Club and Food City. Sometimes the national brand product may have the higher score, sometimes the Food Club or Food City may have the higher score. If they have the same number score, you might as well go with the Food Club or the Food City brand because you're going to save money on it. And I promise you, you will be happy with the quality.
And one thing is, we're talking about NuVal. We're talking about it like just everybody knows about NuVal, but because it is newer to this area, how they get the scores, it's really a very complicated mathematical algorithm.
She didn't come up with it.
No, I didn't come up with it. Very complicated. I came up with it. No. It came out of Yale University. Dr. David Katz is the co-founder of it. And it is pages and pages and pages of a mathematical calculation. But essentially, it's the good nutrients divided by the bad nutrients. And the good nutrients are, you could be the good witch. I'm going to be the bad witch.
Okay. The good stuff in there is the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, bioflavonoids, omega-3 fatty acids, fiber. It's the stuff that's good for you anyway. It's the stuff that you hear people talking about that you should have every single day anyway. And then the bad stuff, name all 5 of them.
The salt or sodium, sugar, the saturated fats, the fats in there.
Added fats.
Added fats. Let's see, what have I said? Sugar, salts, trans fats, sugar. Didn't I say sugar?
She already said sugar.
Sugar.
She already said sugar.
Cholesterol.
Just kidding.
No. So let's go over those
so
again.
the bad ones are going to make the NuVal score
Yeah.
go down. Those
Yeah.
good nutrients are going to make the NuVal score go up.
So if there's added sugar in there, added salt, those kinds of things, the fats and things like that are going to pull that
Even
score down.
naturally occurring fats are going to bring the score down as well.
So one of the things that you will see that I think we really like the NuVal scores for is a lot of times you will be told, maybe you go to the doctor's office and they say your cholesterol level is elevated and you need to reduce the amount of cholesterol or fats that you eat. So the first thing you do is you come into the grocery store and you start buying everything that says reduced fat on it. And if you look at the NuVal score on that, that will help you tremendously. Miss RD, can you tell them why? Tell them the Jif peanut butter.
Oh, the Jif creamy peanut butter.
So the NuVal score may be a better thing to look at than reading the label.
So
Because
basically on Jif creamy peanut butter, I zoned out there. Regular Jif creamy peanut butter scores a 20, and reduced fat peanut butter scores a 7. So the difference is that the reduced fat peanut butter, it has 2.5 grams of fat versus 3. So they took out a half a gram of fat. They added 100 extra milligrams of sodium. They added 8 extra grams of carbohydrates. They added an extra gram of sugar, and they took away a gram of fiber, which is the complete opposite of what you want to do. So even if your doctor tells you to go on a low-fat diet, doesn't necessarily mean that you should go for low-fat food products in our grocery stores. Just don't tell our manufacturers that, because they're with their money.
But see, on that peanut butter, they have the exact same amount of calories because they've added more sugar to the low-fat, not low-fat, reduced-fat version.
So when they take
Same
out
amount of
something like
calories.
the fat, it's not going to taste as good, so they have to add something like sugar
Sugar or
and
salt
to it.
to
And
it.
that's what kind of happens.
So that's where that NuVal score will come in handy. You will be surprised when you start looking at things what the score you know, you think you're buying the healthier option and it's not necessarily true.
Is everything marked?
About 2/3 of the items in the store. The goal is to score as many as we can possibly score. We pay a national company that was formed by this Dr. Katz. We pay them a licensing fee to have this information in our stores. It's in over 1,000 stores all across the country. We're the first ones in this area to care enough to spend the money on it, really, to have that information.
You have a question, go ahead.
New Val on just a peanut. I mean peanut.
Peanuts.
I don't. Unfortunately, I don't know all 65,000 of the scores off the top of my head.
Steak.
Yeah.
So this is a 96. Good point.
Do you know? I don't have a clue.
I really don't know.
Don't
off
have
the
a
top of
clue.
my head, I don't.
Unsalted,
Detective work, though.
unsalted would probably be a higher score than the
There's your
salted.
mission. No.
I'll memorize all of them for you.
All right, blueberry
Go
barrel.
ahead.
We
We
can take
never
that
did
up.
get the question.
So is this just gonna be, the new Val, is this just gonna be a Food City thing?
No.
As of right now, it is. But I
just
mean,
think it's fantastic,
Kro-
especially for new moms.
Kroger could do it if they wanted to.
Kroger-
Walmart could do it if they
Actually-
wanted to.
Kroger has the pilot out in 23 stores in Kentucky right now, and they are hoping to roll it out by the end of the year. This is something that we do want other grocery stores to get because of the fact that it is just so good for the community. This is nothing that we're trying to be competitive on. It's just something that's good for you all to do. So we have no problem with other stores getting it. That's what we want them to do.
Well, I think this is wonderful, especially, you know, they say childhood obesity.
Yeah.
They didn't have childhood obesity problem when I was growing up, but they do now, so this is really good for moms.
Well, and what we've heard some moms are doing is, let's say you go in the cereal aisle, and a lot of those departments will have like a little sign about this big, and I forgot to bring an example, and it'll say, okay, in the cereal aisle, these are the different things that come into play when they're grading cereal. And then they'll have another little sign that'll say, the scores in the cereal aisle range from this number to this number, and this is the average. So mom can say, okay, kids, you can pick whatever cereal you want, but it has to have a score of such and such or above. And that way the kids feel like they're, participating in the shopping part of it. So,
Like, the toys and the lower numbers.
well, and one thing that's meant to mention, talking about that, the scores may change, because if the manufacturer changes their formula and it's submitted to be scored again, it could go up or down. We're hoping more of them will go up. You know, if they can reformulate their product by taking a little more salt out, taking a little sugar out, adding more fiber, and get it a higher score, we're happy for that. So the scores may change. You may be buying something that's such and such a number all the time, and maybe next time you come into the store, it may have a little bit different number.